Alright guys, time for another video tour here at a new spot. I am at the Wooded Farmland Retreat here in Tigerton, Wisconsin. This here is the quote-unquote driveway that you come in from the road. I'm probably maybe somewhere between a quarter mile and a half mile in. This gentleman, Matthew, who's been awesome this whole weekend. What a friendly, talkative guy. He has an awesome property here with, I want to say 7, but I could be wrong, sites. He can accommodate RVs, he can accommodate tent campers. Everything is very private, secluded, except for spot number 1, which is a big wide open area for groups. That's right by a pond. I'll try and get a picture put up somewhere before I leave. If I don't see a picture, I drove off and forgot to take it. Anyway, this road continues on here and back to other sites. I am at site number 4, which is right up this driveway here. So let's go ahead and take a tour of site number 4 at Wooded Farmland Retreat here in Tigerton. Matthew is a very handy gentleman. Apparently this property has been in his family for generations, but he has made all these roads himself. He's got all the heavy equipment and all that to do that. Another awesome thing about Matthew, and I didn't take him up on his offer, but I do want to come back and visit the site, but he actually made a site for me when I booked, because it is 4th of July weekend. He had a big family gathering here and he was worried about, you know, my seclusion. So he actually made another site way deep back in the property. I did not opt for that one just because I couldn't get the car back to that one very far, which isn't a big deal. But it was right by a stream with fish in it, and it was pretty awesome. But hey, I'll be back at this place, so we'll check that out at another time. So we come back, and here's the car. I'll have to black out the license plate on that in the editing process. Reminder to myself. And here we are at site number 4. Now this one here is secluded to a certain extent. You can see the road right here. That was the road I was just showing you that, you know, goes back to other sites. He does have, you know, quite a fleet of ATVs, so I've seen a lot of people drive by. That's not a deal breaker for me though, this time around, because, you know, it's different to see people driving by with smiles on their faces instead of frowns and anger like you see in city driving. So at first I was like, oh, it's gonna kind of suck with people driving by all day, you know, because like I said, he had a big family gathering. But actually it wasn't. It was actually a nice change of pace to see, you know, kids having fun and adults having fun and everyone smiling. This is a little ATV trail that just goes back. Doesn't go, it just connects back to the road. So, you know, if you've got an ATV or anything you want to bring with you, any toys, you can zip around here. I believe he said he has about 700 acres at this property. You can drive these little dirt roads for miles before you hit another public road. And, you know, you got a little bit of a drop off here. Oh, you know, at nighttime after a few beers when you go to take a leak, just be careful where you're stepping and you'll fall down a hill. Over here we got some pretty massive rocks. You can see the blue hoses on the trees. I had to ask him what that's for. That's actually to collect maple sap for syrup, which he sells right on site. He also sells honey. So I actually just messaged him and said, hey, I just noticed on your listing you sell syrup and honey. I want some. Come drop it off. So he'll be here some point today to drop it off. Phone service has been excellent here. My bars only show about half, but I am rocking the LTE. I had no problem watching the Brewer game last night. I had no problem streaming Pandora when the Brewer game was over. So it met my qualifications there. I do have this nice break in the trees right here, so I'm in shade most of the day. But when night rolls around, I got a little window here to peek up at the stars. Which, you know, with a campfire going, I noticed it was kind of difficult. But when I walked down to the road last night and away from, you know, my campfire light pollution, the sky was pretty lit up. It was pretty epic. So, the big question here, will I return? Absolutely. I, at this point, don't want to go home. I wish I had booked 3 nights instead of 2. Considering it's 4th of July weekend and I have off work on Monday, but lesson learned. Next time, book 3 nights when you got a holiday weekend. If I had to pick a con, well, one con would be 3 hours away from Milwaukee. That's, you know, quite a drive. If I was on the scooter, that would have been a, you know, good 7-hour ride, which isn't impossible, but a site like this would definitely be worth that ride. It would also be nice to have the scooter here with all these trails. I could be zipping around right now checking it all out. The little Honda does all right, but it's not a perfect road, so it's slow going and gentle with her because we still got a lot of payments left on that thing, so I'm not bahaing down any dirt roads. Another con, it's a little unlevel here. You can see where my tent is set up. It's not awful. You could figure it out. I would suggest bringing a rake, maybe a hatchet to take care of some of the roots sticking out of the ground like that one right there. But you could definitely get a handful of 2-person tents in this area with a little bit of, you know, strategically placing them and, you know, a little bit of raking, you know, get rid of some of the rocks and the twigs and stuff and give yourself a nice landing pad. But anyway, this has been my tour and review of the Wooded Farmland Retreat here in Tigerton. Go ahead and check the description for the Hipcamp link. The price can't be beat. Until next time, we will see you guys later.